Hello children, welcome to e-learning. This side Shivain sir, and we are going to study today chapter number 16 of your English grammar book, Active and Passive Voice. So children, let's start transformation of active into passive voice. Let's see the definition of active voice. What is active voice? Sentences in which the subject performs the action and the object receives it are said to be in the active voice. The active voice is used when the agent or the doer is to be made prominent or important. The structure of active voice is S plus V plus O. That is, first of all subject, then verb, and then comes the turn of object. For example, the child broke the glass. In this sentence, the child is subject, broke verb, and the glass object. Now passive voice. When the verb in a sentence shows that the subject is not the doer of the action, the sentence is in the passive voice. The passive voice is used when the action is to be made prominent. The structure of passive voice is O, V, and S. In all passive voice, the verb will be used of third form only, and before subject, we use the preposition by. In passive voice, the object of active voice is shifted on the place of subject. So this object becomes the subject in passive voice. Now the example, what we have seen in active voice, the child broke the glass. The passive form will be the glass was broken by the child. The important thing you should keep in mind is that sentences with transitive verbs only can be transformed into passive voice. Sentences with intransitive verbs, that is, the verbs without objects, cannot be transformed into passive voice. For example, Raman is going to the market. So, what do you notice here, children? Is there any object in the sentence? Raman is going what? No object. So, the verb is going is an intransitive verb. So, we cannot transform this sentence into passive voice. Now, let's see rules of conversion from active to passive voice. Rule number A. Subject will be replaced by the object and object will be replaced by the subject. As we have seen, the structure of active voice is SVO, and in passive voice it becomes OVS. While shifting subject on the place of object and object on the place of subject, we should keep in mind, if subject and object are nouns, they will be simply replaced by each other. If subject or object or both are pronouns, change I into me and me into I, we into us and us into we, he into him and him into he, she into her and her into she, they into them and them into they. The pronouns you and it will remain as it is because their subject and object forms are same. Now let's learn rules of tenses in passive voice. First of all, simple present tense. In active voice, I hope you remember, in active voice, in simple present tense or present definite tense, when the sentence is positive, we use S or ES with first form of the main verb or only first form of the main verb. In negative and interrogative sentences, we use do or does as helping verbs and first form of the main verb. But in passive voice, whether the sentence is positive, negative or interrogative, we have to use the helping verbs is, am are, and as I have already said, in whole passive voice we have to use third form of the main verb. Now let's look at the examples. He drinks milk every day. He subject, drinks verb, milk object. Now when we have to convert the sentence into passive voice, as we have to keep the object on the place of subject, then milk will be brought first. Milk, and see here, drinks, S is there. It shows it is simple present tense. So in passive voice, is, am, are with object milk. Now the verb will be used is. Milk is third form of the main verb, that is drink. Milk is drunk. He will be converted into him. Milk is drunk by him every day. Another one. They do not play cricket. Cricket object. Cricket is not played by them. Does Raman help his friends? Now see the sentence. This is an interrogative one. So first of all, helping verb. Here in active voice does. In passive voice we will use is, am, are depending on the object. His friends is the object. So we have to use here are. Are his friends, third form, helped by Raman? When there is a question word, why do you disobey your elders? Question word will not be changed. We have to write the same question word. Why is there? So we will also write why. Why, according to you, why are your elders disobeyed by you? The question word who in active voice is converted into by whom in passive voice. For example, we can say who teaches you English. Who will be converted into by whom. By whom are you taught English? Let's take up simple past tense. In active voice, in simple past tense, we use second form of the main verb in positive sentence, and in negative and interrogative sentences, we use did as helping verb plus first form of the main verb. In passive voice, whether the sentence is positive, negative or interrogative, we have to use the helping verbs was or were. Now let's see the examples. He drank milk every day. Milk, the object milk will become subject now in passive. Milk, according to milk, the verb will be used was. Milk was drunk by him every day. Another one, they did not play cricket. It's a negative one, but we will not use did. We have to use was or were only. Cricket was not played by them. Did Raman help his friends? It is active voice. In passive, it will become were his friends helped by Raman? Another one, why did you disobey your elders? Why were your elders disobeyed by you? Children, take care that we have to transform the sentence. We will not change the sentence. If the sentence is positive, we will let the sentence to be in positive only. If the sentence is negative or interrogative, again I am telling, we will not change the sentence. The sentence, if it is interrogative and active, it will remain interrogative and passive also. Now, simple future tense, that is future indefinite tense. In active voice, we use shall or will plus first form of the main verb. In passive voice, we will use shall be or will be plus third form of the main verb. Examples now, he will drink milk every day. Milk will be drunk by him every day. They will not play cricket. Cricket will not be played by them. Will Raman help his friends? Will his friends be helped by Raman? Why will you disobey your elders? Why will your elders be disobeyed by you? Present continuous tense. In active voice, we use is am are plus ing with the first form of the main verb. In passive voice, again we'll use the same helping verbs is am are, but this time we'll use being plus third form of the main verb. Examples now. She is decorating her house. In passive, her house is being decorated by her. Children are not playing football. Football is not being played by children. Is Deepak drawing a picture? Interrogative 1. Is a picture being drawn by Deepak? How are you doing it? How, question word will not be changed. How is it being done by you? Now past continuous tense. In active voice we use was or were plus ing with first form of the main verb. In passive voice we'll use was, were plus being plus third form of the main verb. Examples now. I was calling my friends. My friends were being called by me. The students were not picking flowers. Flowers were not being picked by the students. Were you cooking food at that time? Was food being cooked by you at that time? What were they doing yesterday? What was being done by them yesterday? Present perfect tense. In active voice, we use has or have as helping verbs and third form of the main verb. Here, we'll use has been or have been and third form of the main verb. Examples, she has finished her work. Now, her work, which is the object in active, will become subject in passive. Her work has been finished by her. You have not beaten the child. The child has not been beaten by you. Have you submitted your assignment? Here have is written because use the subject. Now your assignment has become the subject and that's why we'll use has according to your assignment. Has your assignment been submitted by you? Why have the boys disturbed the class? Why has the class been disturbed by the boys? Past perfect tense. In active voice, we use had plus third form of the main verb. In passive voice, we'll use had been plus third form of the main verb. He had posted the letter. The letter had been posted by him. We had not bought tickets. Tickets had not been bought by us. Had she sung a song? Had a song been sung by her? Where had you kept your bag? Where had your bag been kept by you? Future perfect tense. In active voice, we use shall have or will have plus third form of the main verb. In passive voice, we will use shall have been or will have been plus third form of the main verb. Shall have been we'll use with INV and with rest of the subjects we'll use will have been. Sarita will have cooked food. Food will have been cooked by Sarita. Take care children, no other helping verb should be used. They will not have solved the sums. The sums will not have been solved by them. Will you have sold your house? Will your house have been sold by you? How shall I have forgotten you? How will you have been forgotten by me? Children, you must have noticed that we discussed present indefinite, past indefinite, future indefinite, present continuous, past continuous, present perfect, past perfect and future perfect tenses to convert into passive voice. But we didn't discuss future continuous tense and present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous. Why is it so? Verbs
in the perfect continuous and in future continuous tense are not generally changed into passive. Change is possible, but very rare. It is very rarely seen. However, if you have such condition that you have to change the voice of perfect continuous and future continuous tense into passive, in that case, well, in active voice, in perfect continuous, in present perfect continuous, has been, have been is used. In passive voice, you will use has been, have been plus being, being, because we have to use third form. Then in past perfect continuous, again had been in active voice. In passive voice, had been, being, had been plus being, and third form. And in future perfect continuous, in active voice, will have been, shall have been is used. Then you will use in passive will have been, shall have been plus being, being, and third form. And in the same way, in future continuous, shall be, will be plus ing is used in active voice. In passive, we'll use shall be, will be plus being, being plus third form. Another important rule, use of preposition by becomes unnecessary in the passive voice when emphasis, focus is on action rather than the doer, or when the doer is unknown, or when the doer of the action is obvious, or when the doer of the action is a large group of different individuals. Let's try to understand it through the examples. First example, somebody has picked his pocket. His pocket has been picked. By somebody is not necessary to mention. The people elected him mayor of the city. He was elected mayor of the city. By the people, again, it is not necessary to be mentioned. People speak English all over the world. In the same way, we'll again not mention by people. The passive voice will be English is spoken all over the world. By people, not necessary to mention. Let's see the next rule. Ditransitive verbs. Ditransitive means verbs with two objects. Ditransitive verbs can have two passive forms. Okay, in such a sentence, either of the two objects may be used as the subject in the passive voice and the other remains unchanged and is called the retained object. For example, her father gave her a beautiful gift on her birthday. So what are the objects in this sentence? Her father gave whom? Her. What? A beautiful gift. So there are two objects, her and a beautiful gift. So first way, she was given a beautiful gift by her father on her birthday. Another way, a beautiful gift was given to her by her father on her birthday. Now let's see conversion of imperative sentences into passive voice. If object is given, the structure will be let plus object plus be plus third form of the main verb. Or if the sentence shows advice or suggestion, then in that case object plus should or must plus be plus third form of the main verb. Replace please. If you find please or kindly to start the active voice, then in that case replace please or kindly by you are requested to. Sentences showing order or advice can be started in passive voice with you are ordered to or you are advised to. Don't, if you find don't, if the sentence starts with don't, it will be converted into not to. Let's see the examples. Call him now. Let him be called. Don't talk. You're ordered not to talk. don't pluck flowers. Flowers should not be plucked. Please close the door. Please remove please, and instead of that write you are requested to. So you are requested to close the door. If the helping verbs are modal auxiliary verbs like will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, etc., in that case the structure will be modal auxiliary plus be plus third form of the main verb. For example, you can lift this bag. Again, we'll change the position of subject and object. This bag can helping verb will not change the helping verb. Same modal auxiliary will be used, but just after the modal auxiliary, we'll use be and third form. Once more, this bag can be lifted by you. One cannot please everyone. Everyone cannot be pleased by one is not necessary to mention. So children, in this way we have seen how to convert the sentence from active to passive voice. Now let's see rules of conversion from passive voice into active voice. We have to do just the opposite things. The first thing, bring the object and subject back on their actual places, that is subject on subject's place and object on object's place. Second thing that we have to do, we added by, we should remove that. So remove the preposition by. And the third thing that we did while converting the sentence into passive, change the tenses back into their active forms. Let's try to understand it through examples. I was followed by him on the road. Now see what is given here, was plus third form. So in which tense do we use was verb plus third form? In passive voice, it is used in simple past. Again, think of the tense that we use in active voice. In past indefinite tense, we use second form of the main verb when the sentence is positive. So the sentence was I was followed by him. So him will take place of its own and it will be on its subject place. He followed, I will be converted into me. He followed me, rest part as it is on the road. A beautiful song was not being sung by her. Being plus third form. What does it mean? Was verb plus being plus third form. In which tense is it used in passive voice? It is used in past continuous tense. And in active voice, we use was verb plus ing form. So, she was not singing a beautiful song. Has the letter been posted by you? Have you posted the letter? Tense we will not change. Only the verbs that we use in active voice and the verbs that we use in passive voice, we have to take care of those things. How can it be done by us? How can we do it? Another example, by whom are you taught at home? By whom? You remember by whom? Who is converted into by whom in passive voice. So in active voice, again we'll convert it into who. Who teaches you at home? The thief was arrested yesterday. Who arrested the thief? It is not mentioned. So when the subject is very obvious, it is clear, who will arrest the thief? The police only. So we will provide the subject from our side, and in active voice we'll write like this, the police arrested the thief yesterday. My wallet was stolen yesterday. Again, who stole my wallet? Not mentioned. So again we'll provide in active voice the subject from our side. Somebody stole my wallet yesterday. Let it not be done now. It is imperative sentence. Don't do it now. Thus, children, we have seen how to change the voice of a sentence from active to passive and passive to active. And I hope that your concept is clear regarding voice. See this lecture video twice or thrice and go through the book for a better understanding. Thank you, children.